Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Hello, Jen.
Hello, Dave.
It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast.
Podcast.
Welcome back to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. My name is Dave, and this is my co-host, Jen. As you have heard her lovely singing voice there. We're here to talk about Hollywood Studios again. We're going to talk a little Hollywood, leading into our Epcot next week, of course. We'll possibly talk about Epcot. Got some great ideas to share with you, which I forgot to share with you. But I have some great ideas to share with you, Jen, about some episodes coming up and some news guests we're going to have on. And
exciting
as we
for all
head
of you.
into the fall, it's fall season. Fall is actually, I want to say fall starts today. It's the 20th, 21st,
today or tomorrow. I thought it was the 21st.
It might be the 21st. Well, by the time you hear this, guys, fall has started. So,
yes, exactly. By Thursday, we are definitely to fall.
Right. And the cold snap has hit my area. It's down now to 87 outside. So, I gotta get my Spirit jerseys out because I gotta keep warm and everything. So excited. Jen, how did you Disney this week?
Oh, this week. I watched Moana this week.
Oh, fun times.
It was on, and so why not?
I know you're busy, so I guess you just pop it on just to see how far you'll go. So, which is nice. Good music.
It does have good music.
Good music. Good. I love that movie. I've only seen it a couple of times. I need to go back and rewatch it. I need to put that into my random rewatch cycle of movies.
It is just good. It's just a good, movie.
Now, a lot happens in that movie. Of course, you've got the big crab, and I forget the lobster, or whatever. I forget his name.
It's a crab.
The crab.
Shiny.
Shoot. Jermaine Clement, of course, is the voice of that.
Why can't I think of his name? Toa.
Something like that. It's a name that I probably can't pronounce without offending somebody.
Krakatoa, but it's not Krakatoa.
Yeah, well, that's Universal. That's the park down the street.
But it's
Don't tell quasi-producer Heather; she'll get offended. I love The Rock. And The Rock is fantastic in that movie.
He's fabulous in there.
I always go back to the scene where they're on the boat and her legs or arms are in the water or something, and she feels the water. Suddenly the water gets really warm and he grins. So it's Disney's coming along. So for me this week, I have continually been gathering my shirts. I'm getting ready for the 40th. Of course, I'm wearing my new Genie shirt, which.
Oh yeah, you sent us all a picture of that.
It's like a bowling shirt, which is pretty awesome.
It is definitely a bowling shirt.
It's great. It's great.
Do you bowl with use the standard 10-pound bowling ball when you go to?
I wish. The problem is, of course, I have so many of these shirts now that some of them I don't really wear anywhere outside of the parks, because some are just they're perfect for Disney, but you can't really wear this at the grocery store without getting what are you doing? And so, some are a little bit much. Like this one actually might be a little bit much, but I also signed up.
Not for you, Dave. Not for
probably
you.
Probably not. I also have signed up for the conference I go to every year called The Thing. We've had Terry Weaver on. Previously talked about Walt Disney and such, and we're going to have him on again hopefully pretty soon because he's a great conversationalist and he does a conference every year, a leadership conference called The Thing. It's for networking and leadership, and I'm happy to talk to you about it if anybody wants to email me about it. But so we're going to be staying, and Jen, I know that you think I'm making this up, but Lake Buena Vista, it's a resort in the Disney Springs area. I don't know if you know that Disney Springs actually has resorts. It's not bougie. It's gonna be it's a fine resort. I've been there before.
I'm kind of confused. I don't know, because you didn't say the Grand Floridian. So
I'm also going to say two words to you that are very unfamiliar.
Okay.
Off property. I know that when you fly into Orlando, there's nothing to Orlando except you go straight to suddenly you're on Disney.
I mean, you put words together. I understood them individually. I don't understand what they mean as a sentence, but good for you.
It is off property. It's hard to say that. I'm not familiar with that term either. But I will be a 5-minute walk from Earl of Sandwich. So Disney Springs is right there, and I hop a bus and go over. I'm hoping to spend at least one day in the park randomly. So now basically I will be in Orlando for the first weekend of October, the first weekend of November, and the first weekend of December. It's a little ridiculous.
That's a lot. I mean, I will also be down there the first weekend of December. So I'm skipping November.
And the first weekend in October, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was also skipping
I'll be there the first weekend of October, but I will not be there. What I'm saying is I won't be there in November.
Right. Well, I mean, I wasn't either. And then suddenly this week, I am going to be there first week.
Oh, that's right.
So
I guess
you never know what happened. You never know what could happen. Who knows? Who knows? So we're talking some Hollywood studio today. And of course, Jen and I both just have so many things going on. And basically what we do is we're running in opposite directions. We stop when we meet in the middle. We do a podcast and then we keep running.
Yeah,
that's
I know, right? That's literally what we do.
Like every week, we're like, okay, we're gonna stop here for an hour and we're gonna talk Disney, and then okay, you go that way and I'll go this way. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And we've talked about some Hollywood studio stuff before. We're kind of making a grand tour of Hollywood studios. In previous episodes, we've talked about Sunset Boulevard. We gave you the lowdown on Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. The shops, some of our favorite shops are down there. We've talked about the animation courtyard. And also Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway. And we talked Toy Story Land a few weeks ago. We talked all the Toy Story stuff and Slinky. And today we're going to center kind of on the center of the park. As you're coming down the main drag there, going into the park, you get to an area called Echo Lake. Echo Lake is very cool. So let me go ahead and give you the description of what Echo Lake it looks like. If you've only been to Hollywood Studios once, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then hopefully it'll give you an idea. As you're walking down the main drag there, you're going down Sunset Boulevard, which again we've talked about before. You come into this huge courtyard, and off to the left is the small lake area. You'll see a giant dinosaur statue thing, Gertie, as she is known. She's there. You will see a big theater over in the corner called the Hyperion Theater. That's where the Frozen show is. There's the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular kind of off to your left on the other side of that little lake there, the Echo Lake. Straight ahead of you, of course, is Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, which we've talked about before. But in this area, too, you're also going to see Hollywood and Vine, which is one of the restaurants. The 50s Primetime Cafe is also here. Sci-Fi Cafe is kind of on down the strip, so we'll get the Sci-Fi in another episode. But so there's a lot of things going on here in this little area. It's a fun little area, and of course, during fireworks and things like that, this area kind of gets packed out because it's wide open. So let's talk a little bit about Echo Lake. Jen, have you ever eaten at Gertie's? And of course, Gertie's is also an ice cream stand, I believe.
Yeah,
ice cream, dinosaur Gertie's Ice Cream of Extinction.
That's right. That's what if you're
I see right
on
behind
YouTube.
you.
Actually, Gertie in her Christmas attire is behind me. I have had ice cream at the Ice Cream of Extinction. If there was ever food, I think I mean, there probably was food.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
I don't know. I think it's just ice cream.
Yeah, across the lake, there's another food establishment. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. But yeah, Gertie, I have had ice cream
great little place for ice cream. It's right there. Little tables there to kind of stand around on a pleasant day. It's so cute. On a pleasant day in Florida, they do have about 4 to 5 of those in a year, where it's just so pleasantly nice in the middle of the afternoon, where it's not burning hot, or the 3 days when it's actually a little bitter cold. It's a great place to have ice cream. Just kind of stand there. There is some shade there, so you can kind of walk around the shade there. Directly across from that, actually, close to that is we'll talk about the first of the 2 restaurants, the Hollywood and Vine restaurant. Now it's a character meal. In the morning is Disney Junior characters play and dine, and I don't even know the characters that are there now. I think Disney has a habit of delaying changing the characters. Like Handy Manny was there for the longest time.
He was there forever.
Even though the show had been gone like years, he was still there. You know who's there now? Vampirina.
There we go. Thank you. I don't watch Disney. I have a 10-year-old, so I don't know.
Well, we don't either, but we've had them before.
But you've had that. Well, I was going to say, but you at one point had a child that was young enough to watch this. I believe. What's the
Sophia the First?
No, the purple dress. The blonde.
Purple dress. Fancy Nancy?
No. I think Fancy Nancy is there, but she's a princess. She's a quote princess, not a real Disney princess.
So it's not Sophia the First, then.
No, Sophia.
Oh, it is Sophia. Okay,
yeah. Sophia the First.
Yeah, Sophia the First.
For a while, wasn't Max there?
Like Goofy Max or Max?
Was it? Yeah,
no,
Goofy Max?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think
Max. Okay, maybe not.
Yeah,
See,
I don't think Max
we're bad
was
with
over there.
I get no toddlers.
At one time,
there was Handy Manny.
Handy Manny was there.
He was there.
Doc McStuffins was there. I don't know, I don't know if she's still there. I'll be honest with you, but Doc McStuffins was there. The one that I've always been confused about this, and I don't know who to ask and reach out to about this, but I've always wondered. There are 2 properties that were hugely popular at Disney with Disney Junior that never made it to the parks, and one was Miles from Tomorrowland. My kid loved Miles because it was spaceships and it had a cool theme song, and it was so great. Miles never made it into the park. Also, PJ Masks, a property that is still going on, by the way. Again,
Yeah.
my kid loved, we did PJ Masks for Halloween one year. We had all the toys. You had Catboy, and you had Owlette, and Gecko, the three kids that put their pajamas on, they turned into superheroes. And I don't know if it was a licensing thing or what, or Disney leased the properties to make TV shows but couldn't do park stuff. But I feel like those are two properties that could have been huge in the parks, and they never made it to the parks. So Jen, I don't know. Can you call somebody to find out about that? I mean, I'll wait.
I mean, they kind of have it listed, I think. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Find out about Miles from Tomorrowland. Great theme song too. The other theme song I love is Goldie and Bear, although Goldie was never really not popular enough to make it to the parks, but I love the theme song to Goldie and Bear. So Hollywood and Vine in the afternoon, lunchtime and dinner time, it becomes Minnie's seasonal dining, which I think right now is a Halloween themed dine. Minnie Mouse is there in her seasonal Halloween garb. I believe Mickey is there, and I don't know for sure, but I know it's some of the gang, like Goofy or Donald or Chip and Dale or Pluto, and there may be any combination of those. They may actually tell you, here's the 4 that appear. I know it's Mickey and Minnie, and then 2 more. Honestly, they could change it
at Hollywood and Vine. They change it out. It's always Mickey and Minnie. It's Pluto.
Okay.
And I want to say Donald's the other one, but that's
could be. I just don't know. I really don't know.
It's 4 though. It's not all 5.
Don't go there expecting to see all 5 or 6 or all of them.
You
won't. But if you like Mickey and the gang, then go there. It's a great place to see them. Have you ever dined there?
Yes, I have dined everywhere really at Hollywood Studios at least once. I actually liked it better after COVID, because they changed the menu.
They changed it. They revamped it.
They changed the menu, and I thought the new menu was really good.
Yeah. The old menu was not good. Hollywood and Vine was a place that I would tell clients.
It was okay.
I would tell guests, go there for the characters. You're not going there for the food. It was standard fare, your pizzas and your roast beefs and your chickens and whatever. Now, breakfast is something that I love at Disney, and it's a standard breakfast. If you go to Chef Mickey, if you go here, if you go to a couple of other places, you're going to find your Mickey waffles and your sausage and your eggs and your fruit bar and that kind of thing. They may have a few variations here, but it's your standard breakfast, and it's hard to screw breakfast up when it comes to that stuff. So Hollywood and Vine is fine for breakfast. I've had it for lunch and dinner, and you're right. After COVID, it was better. They rechanged the menu. It's still not my favorite. But if I find myself being booked into Hollywood and Vine, like with a group, with a family, they're like, hey, we're the kids over here and you're going to come with us. Okay, I'm not going to push back on that. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not going to that. No, it's fine. The restaurant basically right next to it, or right down the road, right down the sidewalk to it, is, of course, the 50s Primetime Cafe, as the map says, hosted by Coca-Cola. And there was a Primetime Lounge in there as well. People don't know that. You actually can go in and sit at the bar for a few minutes. And it is. And
that's a great. You used to be able to just go there and order from the menu. You can't do that right now, though.
Yeah, it's too busy.
Because my sister-in-law did that all the time, and
that's one that gets packed out pretty fast.
It gets packed really fast.
What's good about Hollywood Studios and or 50s Primetime? This is one of those restaurants that, and Jen can attest to this because she's done dining many times for many clients. This is one of those that doesn't sell out in the first 5 minutes of dining. It might sell out in the first hour. But if you want 50s Primetime Cafe on your roster of restaurants you're going to eat at Hollywood Studios, more than likely we're going to be able to get it for you. Or if you do it yourself, you can get it. Like something like Topolino's breakfast, gone. Chef Mickey, gone. Like these are Chef Mickey and Topolino's are 2 things I tried for this past week, and I didn't even see them. Like I literally was on at 4:55, refresh. When it finally kicked in, I scrolled down, they were already gone that fast. 50s Primetime Cafe had like 10 times available. Yeah. And so wait an hour and they're all gone. But this is something you can probably get. And this your standard, it's your meatloaf, your chickens, your milkshakes, big milkshake place there. A lot of great milkshakes that are there. And the way it's themed, it is themed to a 50s sitcom. If you walk in there, you're going to see all the colors and the pastels and the tables and the way the chairs are, the plush chairs with the kind of cushions, that vinyl cushioning, there used to be a setup, and I'll ask you, Jen, have you been there before COVID and after COVID? Because there is a distinction in a lot of these places.
There is a distinction. Yeah. Wait, no, I have not been after. I mean, I've walked in after COVID, but I haven't eaten there after COVID. That's one of the ones I haven't made it back to.
Your thoughts before COVID, the way it was set up before?
I thought it was really cute. I don't know. I liked it. I
liked it too. It's
kitschy and it's cute and I don't know. I always nostalgic.
Well, I liked it pre-COVID more than I do post-COVID, and here's why.
And again,
pre-COVID, They had, and I don't know if they have, maybe they still do. The last 2 times I've been there, I have not experienced this at my table, but they had little TV screens on there, and they had clips from 50 shows.
I loved those. Like they would have like Mary Tyler Moore or Dick Van Dyke.
Right.
Or...
The last 2 times I've been there, I've been at tables with no screens. Now I don't know if they're all like that. I didn't really notice to see if they've all been taken away or if some have screens and some don't.
And again, I've only been into the lobby area, so
also. Previously, your server would come up and they would play into the part. And really, this is one of the restaurants. Your enjoyment of the atmosphere is going to be dependent on how much your cast member gets into it.
Yep.
I've had a cast
member, and how much you interact with them too.
True.
I mean, you have to like play a part.
And I've had both ends of the spectrum. I've probably eaten there 4 or 5 times. Pre-COVID, I had one cast member that was like, "Hey, get your elbows off the table. What can I get for you guys?" And that was it. I mean, that was really it. I had another. He, it was an older lady, and she was like, "I'm Aunt blah blah blah. I'm Aunt Judy, and I'm here to take your order or whatever. Get your elbows off the table. Make sure you eat your broccoli, and don't talk back to me." And one of our party made a joke or something, so he stood him up, and made him stand in the corner with a little nose on the circle against the chalkboard, like she's admonishing him or whatever, which we all played along, and it was a lot of fun. Now it is kind of some of that, but it's like I felt like they didn't really get into it nearly as much, and I don't know if that's they're still coming out of COVID kind of thing. Again, I haven't been there probably about a year or so, so maybe things have progressed back into what it used to be. I don't know. The food is good. Again, this is one of those that like I'm not going to go there just for the food. I'm going to go over there for the whole experience. I might go there with a group of people, some friends that have never been there before. I'm like, hey, let's try 50's Primetime Cafe. You've never been, let's go. That kind of thing. But it's not a must do, but it's also not a I will never do kind of thing.
Right.
And it's somewhere in the middle there. So that's 50's Primetime Cafe. Of course, again, like you said, they've got the lounge. Backlot Express is in this area here as well. Actually, there's more dining. We'll get to that. I haven't got to that.
Okay, I'll say
sorry. As you round the corner, of course, there is the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, which has recently opened in the last several months.
It was closed for a while.
Massive theater. And you go in there, and basically it's they walk you through how they do the stunts. It opens up with Indiana Jones rappelling down this big boulder. He jumps out, he's saved, spears are shooting up at everything, and then the guy comes out and is like, "Hey, let me tell you how this works." And then they bring people down from the audience. I think they're doing that again. They're getting volunteers, I think.
They are, yes,
okay.
Because one of our agents, both of her sons were just selected. So they definitely are doing the volunteer thing again, which is great.
Cool. Have you been the volunteer at all?
I have. It's a long time ago. I was in college, but yes, I did.
So 10 years ago. Got it. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah. I've done it twice on our honeymoon. Actually, Steph and I did it. They were like, we need a honeymoon couple or like a married couple, honeymoon couple. We raised our hand immediately and we got drawn down. We got
awesome.
They put the costume on you, like basically just the shawls
and the shawls and like a little head.
And really, and both times I've done it, and the second time I would just raise my hand and they picked me out of the audience just randomly. Really, they just get you to kind of stand there and not really do a lot. You're just part of the crowd, I guess, as they're quote unquote filming a scene. And then you have one guy who is quote unquote selected and he's the one that does all the crazy stunts. He's running around and you're like, what is this guy? The first time I didn't realize it. The second time, of course, I knew it, that he's a plant. That they plant him there, and he's the one just jumping all over the place and whatever. So we didn't ruin the magic for you there out there, folks. But it's a great show. I haven't seen it since it's been back. I think they've refined it just a little bit. But there's an airplane that spins around. There's like fighting going on, and there's like people falling off of buildings, and it's a cool show and it's a great way to get out of the heat. It's a great way. It's a covered theater. A lot of people, which is nice. This is one that if you want to put a Genie Plus on it, if it's available by mid-afternoon, most of your big rides are gone anyway. Slap a Genie Plus on this if you've got Genie Plus. Don't have to wait for the long line to get in. And it's fun. It's fun. So round the corner, and of course, we come to the Frozen sing-along celebration. Jen, were you there for the American Idol? Were you there? Did you experience the American Idol experience?
Yes, I did back in 2009, 10,
something like that. Yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
Try out?
Yes, I did one time.
Did you get selected?
I did not get selected.
Oh,
I went right out. Okay, quite to be honest, I didn't have my full voice that day. So
Gotcha.
I've been in the parks a little bit too much. It's just fine. I mean, it was. I also wasn't what they were looking for. They were looking for. Do you know what I mean? Very specific sort of things. Like, and I didn't think that I was going to be what they were looking for. Like,
right.
You sing really well, but we're looking for like da 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 da. And I'm like, I wasn't surprised. So
so do you remember what was there before the American Idol experience? I don't remember. Like, I cannot remember what happens there.
Okay. I'm not there. It was a sound stage. Sound. I don't think it was the Drew Carey one, but there
well,
was
because that was actually on down a little bit.
that was
really
down
small.
a little bit,
Yeah.
but there was one, and I'm going back to like the early 90s where you would make the sound effects. Like you would actually, and I think that's where that one was. Because my dad was a volunteer on that one. Like they're walking across the gravel, like, and you do the little thing to, go along with the movie. So that was a long time ago though. So I don't remember what was right before American Idol.
I'm trying to remember what was.
I don't
remember. Honestly, I don't. And I'm
actually,
actually
then it was down
now.
for refurbishment for a while, like whenever they transitioned it to American Idol. So like it had been, it has been various things over the years. Frozen might be the longest running.
It's been there a while. It has
that
been
one's
there
been there for a few years, and I don't see it going away anytime soon because it's still relevant.
Yeah, and it's a good show. It really is a good show. It's a great show, actually.
There's a lot of comedy that it's like that classic kids won't get it, but like the adults get it and it's funny, like.
Okay, so here we go. Let me walk you through.
Okay,
what was at the Hyperion Theater? Okay, starting from May 1st, 1989, beginning of the park, through 1998. So 9-year run. Superstar Television was there.
That was the one. Superstar Television. Okay. Superstar Television.
Doug Live took over in 1999 to 2000. Doug was a show on Disney Channel. From 2000 to 2002, it was Get Happy with ABC. That sounds like a filler. That really sounds like a filler or something that was thrown in there.
Literally don't even remember that.
Then apparently it was ABC TV Theater from 99 to 2008. So I'm guessing up until 2008 was just a screen where they would show shows. It sounded like there was not a lot going on there at that point in time.
Yeah.
So that was there. And then of course the American Idol experience came in 2009 to 2014.
2009.
Frozen jumped in 2015. So Frozen's been there about 7 years. So it's not quite the Superstar Television run, but it's getting there, and I would imagine it's going to surpass
Superstar Television is totally the one I was thinking about. So
I'll walk you through real quick, just in case people don't know the American Idol experience. Of course, this is when American Idol was in its heyday.
Yeah.
Which was kind of odd because when they opened this up, first of all, Disney owns ABC and American Idol was on Fox. Secondly, it was kind of towards, I don't want to say the end, but it kind of past the peak of American Idol. Like it was already in the later seasons. You would audition. And when it first happened, I mean, they were getting like tons of people per day. But by the end of the run, I think they were begging people to audition.
They were,
and
because I'd be walking through the parks, and they were like, "Oh, you want to audition? You want?" And it used to be like you could barely even, because basically the winner of the whole thing got to go and do like an actual audition. You were guaranteed.
Well, they did like 7 shows a day, so they had like 7 or 8 people that would win each section. And if you won, you had to come back at the end of the day. And if you won the whole thing for the day, you got a golden ticket, and you got to go to any American Idol audition in the country, and you would go directly to the front of the line. You wouldn't have to wait in the long line. Okay. Right. The only one I remember that actually made the show was David Archuleta, I believe.
That's right.
And I remember because they talked about, like, I remember reading about how he was the American Idol Experience winner. On the show itself, they never mentioned American Idol. The American Idol Experience. They never mentioned Archuleta. Well, I guess it was because it was Fox. They mentioned, like, hey, he had a good time at Disney World, but they never mentioned he was the winner of American Idol Experience. And I thought that was so odd that that's what gave him his start and got him there, but they never even mentioned it. But you would hear people sing, and you would vote with a little keypad on your armrest, and kind of punch in your winners there, who you want to win. Of course, the judges would be there, and you had the Paula Abdul type who was really like, "Oh my gosh, you're so wonderful." You had the black guy who was the Randy Jackson type, who was like, "Dog, that was awesome," whatever. And then you had the critic, the Simon Cowell, who was British and talked like, I just think that's and it was over the top kind of thing. So American Idol Experience, but of course Frozen kicks in June of 2015. Yeah, and I love the Frozen show. It is a great show. It's a walk through Frozen, and it's a sing along. So you see the screen with the songs.
It's really cute.
But for anybody who's like, "Oh my gosh, I've seen so much Frozen, I don't want to see Frozen again," go see this show. The narrators come out, and they're the comedic narrators, and they're so funny, and they make all these digs at Disney, all these jokes, all these outside the Frozen universe jokes. My favorite joke is about when the parents die on the shipwreck. They die? What is this? Bambi or the Lion King or Pinocchio? Or it just runs through the long list of movies where the mom or parent figure dies in the Disney movies. They're great. Some of the jokes fly above the kids' heads.
Absolutely.
Some of them are a little. They're like, "Oh, okay, well, just
like, dang, okay."
Yeah, it's great. It's one of those shows, if you've never seen it and you're avoiding it because it is Frozen, go see this.
No, it's one that I actually truly enjoy. It's funny.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah,
So
it's a good one.
Also included in Echo Lake, right around the corner, is the Celebrity Spotlight. Right now, there's Olaf, and this is kind of a meet and greet area. They've had various people coming in there doing
changed throughout the years. Yeah,
changed throughout the years and that kind of thing. So that's always fun. So there is that, and of course, you've got the Vacation Fund, which is now the animated shorts with Mickey and Minnie, which is also fun. Now, let me run through. This is what was here before. Right now, it's Mickey Minnie Vacation Fund. It's a Mickey Minnie short. And it's the short itself is kind of fun because it takes pieces from other Mickey and Minnie cartoons and puts them in a vacation fund. Like they're going on vacation, and Mickey keeps thinking about all the vacations he's had, and they pull out clips, including the Potato Land.
I was going to say Potato Land,
which is one of my favorite things I've ever seen. It's so great.
Yeah.
And as you walk out, there's props.
I was going to say you can do the Potato Land prop out. I like all of the different ones.
So cute.
It's so funny
because the chairs are actually all like Mickey shaped, everything. This opened March 4th, 2020. Of course, something happened about 2 weeks later. The whole thing shut down for whatever reason.
I saw it. I think it was March 3rd on the preview. And then I was like, oh, this is going to be so cute. And then
here's what, and I think this is actually going to help. This is actually going to go to what you were talking about earlier. Opening with the park on that is the Monster Sound Show. That was from 1989 to 1997.
The other one. Yep.
That is an 8-year run. One Saturday Morning Sound Show. Now I don't even know what this is. I've never heard of this. It's okay. So it's a show based on what was the Kids Block park cartoons. The Mighty Ducks, the Jungle Cubs, the Gargoyles, all those shows happening early 2000. This was actually 97 to 99. Sounds Dangerous, which I do remember. Sounds Dangerous. That was there.
Yes, I remember that one.
And then, of course, you had the sign up for the Jedi Training Academy and the Star Wars Path of the Jedi, which was really just a compilation video of
just a bunch of movie
Jedi
clips.
stuff.
Jedi stuff.
And of course, we've got the Mickey and Minnie Vacation Fund. So that's all of that in that little area there. And honestly, that's kind of the whole wrap.
That's Echo Lake.
That's Echo Lake. It's not a ton to it.
I love the area though. I have to say, I love the vibe. And I love like during Christmas, I love how they have that part decorated just with the kitschy stuff and like Gertie and just the old school.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see Gertie behind Jen there with the ornament in her mouth, with the Santa hat on and everything. And so
I love how they put ornaments in the lake. I don't know. I just think it's really cute, that whole area.
So I'm looking here. Okay, so apparently the Frozen Sing-Along Celebration was also in the Premiere Theater, which is where is this? Oh, the entertainment venue. Okay, so it's no longer there. It used to be there. It's where Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is now.
Oh,
but in that area, they had it, and then they moved it to Hyperion Theater as well. And I'm just kind of flipping through some of the former attractions to see what is what and where is where. And there was let's see.
Did we talk about the boat, Bill and Min's Dockside Diner?
That's what I was going to get to. I was like, there's one thing I'm forgetting.
I was going to say, like, I don't think we talked about that.
Underrated food. It's great.
Underrated. It is good.
It's great. Now, the last time I was there, they had fried chicken. I don't know if they have it anymore, but they had fried chicken. It was delicious. It was delicious.
They just have a lot of good. You know what? In some ways, some of the offerings remind me a little bit of some of the things you can get in Cars Land in California Adventure. I mean, not exactly, but it just kind of reminiscent to me. But I do like the Dockside Diner. It's all outdoor seating, so if it's like really hot, you might get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I remember. Yeah. When my friend Joey and I were doing the 24 hours 2015 when we were doing 50 attractions in 24 hours during Star Wars weekend, number one, and also Memorial Day weekend. And we finished it at 23 hours and like 25 minutes, 50 attractions. I remember this is where I had lunch there because he was doing like we had fast passes and our fast passes to Toy Story Mania were at like odd times. So I grabbed a bite to eat while he did Toy Story Mania. Then he came back and he grabbed a bite to eat. I did Toy Story Mania. But Dockside Diner was kind of our little central point there. And it's good food. It really is good food.
It's delicious.
And it's kind of forgotten. It's kind of underrated there.
Yeah.
So now also included in Echo Lake, and this is according to the map. So even if it seems a little odd, it's included in the section. Walk down a little bit past the animation fun. So the animation fun, vacation fun, celebrity spotlight, down that area a little bit, you're going to come to, of course, the Backlot Express, and that's a restaurant that's kind of down there in the corner. It's got like a Star Wars vibe to it now. It used to be really themed out when they had the Great Movie Ride, not the Great Movie Ride, but the Backlot Tour, which was over there in that area, which has been all kind of changed around and everything. Star Tours is also included in Echo Lake, so that's down there as well.
Okay, so
Star Tours opened up in 1989, 1990.
That
It wasn't an
sounds
open day
right.
attraction, but it was not too long after.
It was pretty soon after, though.
And it was pretty great. I remember Star Tours, the first time I ever saw it, it was
like really cutting edge.
It was very cutting edge. And I saw it for the first time, I want to say in 2004. And even then it was really, really cool. And of course, it went down for a refurb because new movies were coming out.
Yes.
And now they have it. Now, so Jen, you might be able to answer this.
Yeah.
Do you remember, was it the same video every time previously, or did they change up the scenes even back then?
As I recall, it was the same video every time. So now, again, I'm like going way back because I was there in the early 90s, like when it was open, like
when you were a baby. Yes, when you were a small child.
It was a small infant. I don't remember everything. But yeah, as I recall, everything was the same. I mean, the technology at that point wasn't really, I think, to the point where you could like randomize it.
Right.
When they did, I think the first update, they might have made it where they could randomize, some of the things, but really where it came up to, because I remember when they started inserting the pieces for the new, the new Star Wars. At that point, they already had the randomization, maybe based on the movies that came out in the late 90s.
Right.
They're the prequels.
Right.
I feel like is when we started getting that. And then they started inserting the new movie. And that was like a big deal because that was the biggest since the randomization came in. The new movies were like the biggest new thing to hit Star Tours.
And we can spend more time on Star Tours, and I think we will, because when we do Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I want to have some guests on that really, really know Star Wars that want to talk.
And I feel like it fits better in Galaxy's Edge,
even though there's no way around that. They're not going to move it. They can't move it.
No, you can't move it. It's close enough. It's like because it's right around the corner.
I think the storytelling they're trying to do is that the Galaxy's Edge, of course, is modern day canon
outpost,
with Batuu and whatever, where Star Tours is going to take you back a little bit to even though there's all kinds of stuff in there. I think you're going to see some familiar characters and stuff. So, and we'll wrap this up with this, Jen. Of course, this area is where you see parades coming through, the courtyard, that whole thing. So I'm going to run through these parades. This is the history of Hollywood Studios parades. And let me know if you've seen these, because I don't remember. Until I get to like the last four, I don't remember. So first was Dinosaurs Live, 1991, 1992.
Don't remember that one.
Aladdin's Royal Caravan in 92 through 95.
Yes.
Don't remember that.
I remember that one.
Toy Story Parade, 95 through 97. Of course, this is when Toy Story first came out. So this is not the block party, but the first Toy Story Parade. The Hercules Zero to Hero Victory Parade, 97 to 98, back when Hercules came out. Mulan got her own parade, the Mulan Parade, from 98 to 2011. I'm sorry, 2001.
I was going to say, it wasn't 2011.
This is the one that I saw in 2004, and I vaguely remember. We have pictures of it. The Disney Stars and Motor Cars Parade.
Love
Every
that
character
one.
had their own car themed
So
to
cute.
them, which was pretty fun.
It was so cool.
And then, of course, the Block Party Bash, which I think is a lot of people remember. That was very, very fun. And that actually ended in 2011, 11 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it also transitioned into the Pixar Pals Countdown to Fun, which I remember.
Which I remember that one.
But that ended in 2013. And like, I remember both of these parades very vividly.
Yeah,
and they
I
were
remember
9 to 10 years ago. Of course, they had a 25th anniversary parade 2014, which I don't remember. And now they're doing the the Royal Welcome Ceremony, which was in 2014, 2015. And now it's just seasonal. So you may or may not even see that. And so, that is our look around Echo Lake, folks. We'll get to some of the other stuff in a future episodes. Like I said, we'll do Galaxy's Edge, and we'll be just about wrapped up with Hollywood Studios, and we'll jump to another park. Of course, next week we'll be talking a little bit about Epcot, I think, because we're going to be going to Epcot for the 40th anniversary, which is exciting.
Yes, we will.
And now we have to look ahead to 2023 and figure out what event in October we're all going to come together for, because this is now our thing. Well, if you're in the South, Jen, I will tell you, especially when you go to a Baptist church like I do, 2 years in a row makes a tradition. So now we have a tradition. We all gather together for every October for something.
Apparently so.
And October 1st, which I don't know, maybe we won't hold it to the first of the month. We'll just do October of some sort. I want to say there's something's happening, like the 30th anniversary. No, the 100th year anniversary of
Disney. 100th. Yeah.
It's like October 23rd. Quasi-producer Heather, get on that. Let's start planning that. So that's a look around Hollywood Studios, folks. So we're going to get out of here. Jen, where can we find you on the line?
You can find me at Upon a Star Jen, or my personal Instagram at Jen_Novotny.
Perfect. I am on Instagram at the Magic on a Dollar. Find me on Facebook, Magic on a Dollar, Disney on a Dollar. And of course, you can find us at Upon a Star Travel at all the usual places. The Gmail, it's info at Upon a Star Travel.
Yes.
That is our email address. And of course, at uponastartravel.com. We're also on TikTok, fun things going on TikTok
Stuff,
and on Instagram. I always give props to our agent Meredith, who has just taken that on and just blown that out of the water. I'm attached to that Instagram account, so every time she puts a reel up, my phone blows up from notifications.
For a while.
I'm like, this is not even my reel. My reel got 17 views, and hers got like 4,400 in 12 minutes. What the heck? And so good for her. And also find us online at the MSE podcast at gmail.com. That's our email address, and find us on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook and all the usual places as well.
Yeah.
And so Jen, go ahead with your busy day. I will go ahead with my busy day. We will come together. I'm sure I'll talk to you like 5 times in the next 24 hours anyway. But for the rest of you guys out there, enjoy Echo Lake. And hey, don't forget to thank your Phoenicians.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.